A conversation of last week, Thursday, we sent the CV. She was happy. Yes, I have received it. She applied for the job. This week on Tuesday, she received an invitation, and tomorrow she's going for the interview. Red flag number 2, gaps in your employment. Explain why you got the gap in your CV. Reassure the hiring manager why you won't do it again, or you don't foresee yourself having such a situation. Make sure you also share what you picked along the way. What are the skills? What are the insights? What is the wisdom that you got during that gap? And finally, keep it short. Sometimes when you over-explain, you expose and even say so many other things that are not necessary. You can't help people judging you, but you can control and influence how they judge you. Red flag number 1, unusual job titles or companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this session where we will be figuring out your CV being trashed. Is that where it ends up? I am going to highlight to you 10 red flags, how to keep your CV out of the trash bin. 3 things that we will cover today. Number 1, the 10 red flags in your CV that you need to really be careful about. Number 2, I'll give you the solutions to your stalled job search. Have you been applying for jobs? Have you been sending out applications and nothing is seem to be working? I'll give you a solution for that. And towards the end, I will have a Q&A session, question and answer session. And I would really like to encourage you to stay long enough through the Q&A session. You have just seen from the short conversation or engagement that we have had, somebody has asked a question about ATS. Is it that something people are taking advantage of job seekers? Only to find someone in the same audience who does not really know what ATS is. And that is the beauty about staying through to the Q&A session, because some people will ask a question and you had not thought about that question, or you don't know what that is. And so by me answering the question, you get knowledge. Hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. That is Tim, a basketball coach. And I totally believe in this. If you put in the time, if you put in the effort, if you work hard, not only to apply for jobs, but to understand how to apply for a job the right way, like understanding what are the red flags that you need to really be keen on when it comes to your CV. When you understand how do you do your application right, you put in the time and work, you will be able to beat people who are probably talented, people who have more qualifications than you, people who are best fit for a job if they don't put in the effort. So I want to encourage you that you need to work hard, and you will beat talent anytime if the talent does not work hard. So I want you to put a yes or a no in the comments below. Is a CV important in getting a job? What do you think? And the answer is yes, a CV is very important. I did the same poll on LinkedIn, and you can see out of 903 people who voted, 89% think it is important, and it is important. You know why? Number 1, because your CV, it is the first contact between you and the potential employer. That is how they get to know you first. It is what they see for you to get that job. And please note, we are talking about you being able to get a job without any connection. It's just based on merit. I always say, and I've told this, I've been employed 3 times so far in my life, and all the jobs have been based on merit. I didn't know anyone, I sent a CV, and I got that job. Yesterday, I was talking to a coaching client who I served like 6 years ago, and she said she didn't know anyone, she got the job, and that is the job she's doing until today, just because of having a good CV. So please note, it is the first contact you have with the employer. And since it is very important, why is it important? Because this is what you will be judged based on. So this employer doesn't know you. This is the first time they are trying to see, is this person right for this position? And that is what they will judge you based on. And that's why they call you for an interview or they ghost you. We have a customer care service position. We have an engineering position. we have a quality assurance position. We get several applications and we are judging. I can see here. Okay, let me pick some few names here. James Okumu is there. Is really James Okumu right for this job? We will judge you based on that. We will look at Marceline Acheng. Are you really perfect for this job? Can you do this job? What are we making our judgment based on? What is in your CV? You look at Deborah. Is this the right person for this job? So you will be judged based on your CV. So you can't help people judging you, but you can guide them or direct what they judge you on. That's a good one, yeah? You can't help people judging you, but you can control and influence how they judge you, even in job application or even in real life. Yeah, people say, people will always talk about me or about people, but you can also change the conversation and have them talk about you in a different way based on how you dress, how you talk, how you present yourself, and all that. So in a job application process, it is based on what is in your CV. And the other thing is, your CV is the first window through which the potential employer sees you. They start looking at you through that window, and the rest of the conversation, like being invited for an interview, how you end up even showing up, they are still thinking about this person on paper, and now you have come in the interview, and they are comparing, are you the same person? And finally, why is it important? It is your first opportunity to stand out and make a lasting first impression. They say you don't have a second or third chance to have a good first impression. It is the first impression, what they say, they create a lasting impression. Are you going to stand out from the competition using a good professional CV, or are you just going to let it be another document that you have sent and it's not having a lasting impression? That is the reason why today I have dedicated this session to tell you about the red flags. I will do another session to you about the mistakes, because they are more or less not the same, but they can intertwine, right? Why is the CV again important? Because I'm telling you, the stakes are very high. Several studies have been done, and they have shown that recruiters on average will spend between 6 to 8 seconds to review your CV. In other words, when the CV has been sent, they will open the application. Within 6 or 8 seconds, they can decide, will I go through the whole of this CV? Will I spend more effort trying to figure out if this person is the right one for the job, or should I move on? So that is how much the stakes are high. Red flag number 1, unusual job titles or companies. Now, and this is a big one, yeah? There's a big list here, and I've seen all these as job titles on CVs. But let me take a little bit time to discuss this first one called CEO or founder. Now, at some point, you will start your own business. You will be the founder. You will be the CEO. You will be the managing director. But I don't want you to put that in your CV, because the moment you put that, it will rub the employer differently. Most of the time, if you're a CTO, if you are a CEO, if you are an entrepreneur, employers see that as a red flag, in the sense that you're not really coming here to be fully committed to this job. Probably it's because business is not doing well, so you are looking for a source of income, and so you come in and you get the job. You can still do the job, but you're not 100% in here. So even if you are the founder, even if you're the CEO of that company, please don't put that. It will rub the employer the wrong way, and it will send the wrong message. Remember, we are saying you will be judged based on what is on your CV. When you're starting this application process, you don't have a chance to explain verbally. So the most important thing is not to raise any question. I've also seen this kind of titles. Someone is the CTO, and the job title they put there is chief geek. Someone is a tech support person, they call themselves tech monkey. I've seen new media guru, and that's just a position for digital marketer. Digital prophet for market researcher. I like this one. Manager of codependence, and that is an office manager, assistant manager. Yeah. Guru or hacker if you are a developer. Yeah. Chief happiness officer if you are in HR. You see, yeah, probably that is the title they use in your organization. Probably you're out there to look at the happiness and well-being of people in your organization, but that is not the mainstream. And people might think either you're a joker or they will interpret it differently. So don't give them a chance to start interpreting things differently. Just say, I'm head of HR. Yeah. And there are so many other names that I got to see even in different people's CV. The other thing I also want to mention, uncommon job titles or companies with a questionable reputation may prompt the employer to investigate further to ensure your experience is legitimate. And so you don't want to raise any red flags. Red flag number 2, gaps in your employment. We get gaps in our employment due to so many reasons. It's not that if you have a gap, it's because things were bad or you are fired. You might have taken a gap because you want to pursue further studies, either because of illness. It can be because of caring for someone else, not career for someone else. That's a mistake. Caring for someone else. Their family members who are either sick, they are ailing, they are aging, or you might even just decide because I want to take care of my children, I want to be around them as they grow. So you take that gap. It might be about family issues, yeah, your own issues, your family. It might be personal issues, maybe your mental health, or maybe things are not working with your current employer, so you decide to end the job. It can also be out of redundancy. You are retrenched, things didn't work out, or yeah, like right now, technology and all this, it is making so many jobs to be redundant. COVID sent so many people home, and even right now, several people are still struggling. It might be you got fired. Yeah, we can even go to the extreme end. You got fired. That might be a reason for the gap. But the gap is not the problem. It is how you handle that gap. There are several ways you can be able to handle that gap in your CV, and here are some tips. Number 1, prepare to answer questions. If you're asked this in an interview or if they raise this, be ready to answer this question. Don't be taken by surprise. Be honest. It's always the best policy. When you're trying to explain it in your CV, be brief. Do not go into details. Discuss the valuable skills you gained during your gap. The alternative is, because I had this gap for 1 year, 2 years, why you just sitting at home doing nothing? Probably you tried some business. Probably you decided to take up a course or to upskill yourself. What did you gain during that gap? Don't let it look as if everything was a vacuum, nothing happened there. And then consider a functional resume. Writing a resume or a CV that is functional based on what they are looking for. This is a simple example on how you can be able to address a gap in your CV. So this is experience 1. Between this year and this year, I was in ABC company. This was the role, an administrative assistant, and you can list some responsibility. Then there was an employment gap. You can put the years between this and is. The reason why, I remember we said very short explanation, time spent relocating to a new city or state. You know, you can have a gap in your employment because you had to relocate, and probably not even you, maybe your spouse got a job in another city or in another country. So you had to go with the family, but before you get your own job, there was a gap. You can easily explain it in a sentence and then continue. If the gap is glaring, don't try to hide it. Address it head on. Some of the do's and don'ts: do not assume. So the do assume the employer will find out the gap through a basic employment check. So don't assume they won't know. So you assume that it is not there and hopefully they will not. Always think about, assume they will see it because they will do maybe some background check. Also, do show the gap in your resume, but explain it briefly. Please address the elephant in the room right away and explain it briefly. in 2 lines or less. Simply state what you are doing. See employment gap example below. I think it has started first. I've shown you the example. What are the don'ts? Don't cover gaps in your CV with dates. Sometimes people will want to play around with the date and then it ends up not adding up. Don't make up heroic reasons for a gap in your resume, that you went to rescue whales in the beach. Employers can smell dishonesty a mile away. So it's important for you to address it head on and not run away from it. Here's a simple explanation, especially if it gets to the point of an interview. Explain why you got the gap in your CV. Reassure the hiring manager why you won't do it again, or you don't foresee yourself having such a situation. Reassure them. Make sure you also share what you picked along the way. What are the skills? What are the insights? What is the wisdom that you got during that gap? And finally, keep it short. Sometimes when you over-explain, you expose and even say so many other things that are not necessary. I don't know if you have ever found yourself in such a situation. Probably not even a job application, but in your own engagement with your colleague, with your parents, with your children, with your spouse, keep it short. The more you explain, the more chances you will mess things up. Red flag number 3, inconsistent dates. Sometimes when you're trying to hide either the gap or hide something, you end up having some inconsistent dates. And the moment there's some inconsistent dates, already, that is a red flag. Discrepancies in employment dates or education timelines may raise doubt about your honesty and attention to details. Ensure that the information you put on your CV aligns cohesively. Do not play around with the dates to hide something, or you might not even try to hide something. I think I saw somebody writing something like 2034 or 2033. And I'm sure it was a typo because it was supposed to be from 2023 to something else. That is already showing that you're not very keen on your details. And it might translate that is how you're going to come and work here, not being keen to details. Make sure you read through the dates. Red flag number 4, inconsistent formatting. And this is a big one. Now, when you have a CV very well developed, but it is not consistent. Number 1, the formatting. It is, some are center aligned, some things are left aligned, others are right aligned, some are justified. You have different fonts. You can see font 1 and font 2 are not the same. You can see the date here is being placed on the left. Then here it is next to it. You can see some, especially if you're using ChatGPT. Let me just pause here and say, there's a time what was I doing? And somebody sent me an email or a CV, and I could see the different format, and I just was able to pick some text and the font that is used on ChatGPT. Yeah. So even if you're using that font, it's not bad, but let it be consistent throughout. You don't want to start with New Times Roman, then somewhere in between you have, is it Arial, then somewhere the font size is not the same. One is 12, the other one is 14. The other, if you decide all the titles are 12, let all of them be 12. If you decide that the main text is going to be, let's say 13 or whichever font size or the color and the format, let it be consistent, because it shows that, again, you're not serious. You are not keen to details. You don't understand how to do things the right way. Now, this is the message that you're sending when you have inconsistent format, inconsistent font styles, formatting errors, or even poorly organized CV may suggest a lack of attention to detail or professionalism. Yesterday, I saw one. It's only that I did want to use it also in the presentation. I had to take a lot of time to hide the details and all that. But even the bullet points here, they are red. Here next it is the flowery bit. And if you're using bullet points, let it be consistent throughout. Yeah, it shows that you lack attention to details. And the other thing I'll say this, a well-presented document is a reflection of your communication skills. It beats logic when you write in your CV, you have good communication skills, and just from how you have presented your CV, you're not communicating anything. You are mixing up, and it's not a good way to present yourself. Remember, we have said the CV is what will be used to judge you. It is the perception that people are going to get about you. So it might not be true that you're sloppy or you're not a good communicator, but when we look at your CV, does that communicate that you are a good communicator, right? Red flag number 5, and this is a big one, overstating achievements. I have seen people really overstate what they have done. It is important for you to highlight your achievements. And that is one of the secrets that we use in our professional CV. We don't just focus on writing your responsibilities because anybody can do that. But what are your achievements in that role? Because they are unique to you. But again, you don't need to overstate your achievement. I saw this and it was quite interesting, very funny. So reality, the guy is unemployed. But when you go to LinkedIn, the guy has put his achievements or his tagline, you can see blockchain enthusiast, cryptocurrency evangelist, influencer, inspirer, chief visionary, serial entrepreneur. And again, do you remember what I talked about, those uncommon titles or titles that you give yourself? Sometimes you can see a serial entrepreneur, which basically means I started and built several businesses. Founder in the philanthropic, empowering something, life coach, father. Sometimes even all these things are confusing. How can you be all these titles and all this? There's some that will go ahead one after the other, as in they rhyme. Trendsetter, top LinkedIn profile, speaker, TEDx. This is too much. Don't overstate, yeah? Candidates who exaggerate their accomplishment or responsibility may lack credibility. Employers should verify through referees or during the interviewing process. You should be able to put in an achievement that it is easy for the employer to actually be able to verify. Either during the interviewing process, because they will call you, you can be able to answer question, or even they can call your referees and clarify that. Here's an example. And I would say this is a really overstatement. The original statement can be like revolutionized company's sales strategy, leading to a 300% increase in revenue within 3 months. Now, this sounds good, and I would like to employ such a person. But the reality might be you did not do it all by yourself. You collaborated with other people. You did not bring all this 300% growth from one product. Probably it is different products and different strategies that you used and all that. So instead of really overstating and looking as if you are a genius, then why are you leaving that company? All that is what you did. You revolutionized the company sales, as in you made it upside down and people started following you. I want you to give a more accurate and appropriate version. It might sound something like collaborated with sales team to implement a new strategy, contributing to 300% increase in revenue across various initiatives within 3 months. This sounds more believable, and it has also brought other things to do with collaboration and trying out different things. There's a strategy that you used. Don't just say, it's like I'm the one who revolutionized. Does it make sense? Hopefully it does, yeah? So those are the top 5 that I really wanted to cover. The others, I will just list them very quickly because I want to go to the Q&A session. And I have already seen some questions coming in. I will come to them, yeah? Let me just try to highlight them. And then I will come back to them, yeah? So other red flags that you also need to be thinking about: frequency in terms of changing your jobs. That can be a red flag. I remember somebody asked, is it a bad thing that I have been working in different companies within a very short period of time? 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, you're off. Sometimes it might be looked as job hopping, and you really need someone to help you write a CV so that you don't look like a job hopper. Because even if we give you a job here and the last place you are is only 3 months, what makes you not stay here again another 1 month and you get an opportunity and to run away? Yeah. Another red flag is lack of specifics. Some CVs are very generic, very general statements, nothing in specific, especially in achievement. Want a bit of some specific. Don't just be very general. Unexplained career shift. It's sometimes a red flag when you are from one industry to totally a different one, or even change 2, 3 different industries, and they're totally to the very different, and there's no explanation. You need guidance on, even if you have moved from manufacturing to maybe customer service to NGOs to government to whatever. How do you put it across so that it does not look like a red flag? Yeah. Missing skills or qualifications. This is very important. For every job that you do, there are certain skills that you have that are aligned to that job. It does not mean that you should always have the qualifications in that area. Last week, I was talking to one of my clients, and she tells me, yes, she did pharmacy, and she ended up in the procurement field, in the pharmaceutical supply chain, and she has the skills, and she feels like she wasn't sure if she should pursue pharmaceutical or in procurement, but she has the skills, and if she wants to be an expert in that area, then getting some qualification, even if it is a certification in procurement, would be a good thing. But if she wants to go back to pharmaceutical, she has the qualification, she can still showcase her skills in that area. So missing skills or qualification is a red flag. And the other thing, overemphasizing on unrelated skills. I would want you to really emphasize on what is relevant to that job or to your line of work. You can't talk about all this customer care or business development ideas and your line of work is totally maybe in the background. Yeah, you're an accountant or you are an engineer or something of that sort. So don't really overemphasize on unrelated skills. Is that okay? Are we good? Thank you for your feedback. Let me give you the solution. Then we can be able to proceed. Now, it is how you communicate that value that is of more important. Some of the solutions that we offer here at Career Point is number one, we help you get a professional CV. Not just a CV, because most people have a documentation of where they have worked, their experience, and all that. But we make a professional CV which sells you. The other thing that you're able to communicate your value with and will help you is with a cover letter. Very important. Your LinkedIn profile. How professional. When people land on your LinkedIn, are they able to see the value? Are they able to see a correlation between your CV and your, yeah. That's another service we offer. And the last bit, once you have been able to communicate effectively on paper, online, they call you for an interview and they want to have a one-on-one and they want to see, can you be able to provide? So we coach you. In our WhatsApp group, we do post so many questions and answer, interview question and answer, which is out there for free, yes, but a mock interview. Remember, like already I've scheduled like 3 of them this weekend. People are been invited for interviews and they want to know, how do I, can I do a mock and see how I perform? There's a difference between knowing and performing. You watch the videos, you know what to say. How you perform is a different thing. So we can be able to equally help you there. So those are the core things that I want to help you with. And if you send your CV for peer review, let me just mention this. We do offer what we call free CV review. You send us your CV, that is the link, careerpoint.co.ke, or you can drop me even on email. My email is daniel@careerpoint.co.ke. Don't stress writing this out. I will still have it there and I can share it with you. We will give you our CV writing packages. And I want to be clear. We have what we call the basic package, where you get a professional CV and sample cover letters. The cost normally ranges between 1,000 Kenya shillings to about 3,000 Kenya shillings, depending on how much work and effort we do and how we can help you also with your experience. International, it is about $10 to about $30. Yeah. So we'll tell you how much. You can go for standard, which is professional CV, sample cover letter, and the LinkedIn profile guide, ranging between 2,000 Kenya shillings to 6,000 or 20 US dollars to 60. Or you can go for the advanced, where you get all these services: professional CV, sample cover letter, LinkedIn profile guide, and interview coaching. Again, between the 3,000 to 6,000. And for you who are here with me live, I have a special offer for you. I asked this question: are you confident in your CV ability to sell you? Is your CV doing you a big, is it doing you justice? Most people said yes. And I would tell you this: most of it is when people are really overconfident about themselves. And if you're really overconfident, you think it is doing a good job, the only way for you to measure is it doing a good job, it is if you're being invited for interviews. Are you getting the interviews? Are you able to communicate your value and people say, oh, we judge this person and we see they might be a great fit, let them come for an interview? That will be the best judgment. And I want you to take a look at this. Now, this is the conversation we had with one of my clients. This is on WhatsApp. This conversation took place last week on Thursday. Yeah. So I asked, good morning, I have received the payment and started working on your CV. So this is, she had paid. Then on Thursday, I asked her, we sent your CV via email. Have you received it? Then on Friday, she said, yeah, I have received it. This is last week. Then conversation continued yesterday. Was it yesterday or Tuesday this week? And this is what she told me. Good morning, Anne. Following your application for the position of cashier at Cliffneck Enterprise Limited, we are pleased to inform you that you have been shortlisted and you are hereby invited for one-on-one interview in our offices on Friday, 26th January 2024 at 9 a.m. Tomorrow. So if you're watching this live, today is Friday 25th. Oh, today is Thursday 25th. Tomorrow is Friday 26th. She's going for the interview. So she sent, this is the text, she said, I sent my CV and cover letter after review that you did. Today I received this. And today, I think it was, and today I received this. Thank you so much. So a conversation of last week, Thursday, we sent the CV. She was happy. Yes, I have received it. She applied for the job. This week on Tuesday, she received an invitation, and tomorrow she's going for the interview. This is to tell you the services that we offer are actually giving you value. Here's another one. Actually, I was struggling to get this screenshot today. Actually, this is today. I don't know how I can prove it. And if you're here, you can say this is true. Today at 6, yeah, somebody said, hey, Daniel, thank you so much. I received my final copy of the CV today. I'm really grateful for the good work you people are doing. And indeed, my initial CV was for the dustbin. I can't imagine how it came up structured so well, appealing, and looks to look at it. I'm grateful. And I told her, you're welcome. Today, once she saw the CV that we did for her, now she even started saying, you mean this is how people were judging my previous one? Now this is how the new image, the new projection that I have. And based on that, I want to ask you, oh, here's another one. Though this is an older one. This is an email I got. Stanley Ledger saying, you have helped me secure a job in 2 weeks. I have no better words to say. Thank you so much. I knew you at the right time. I don't regret what I spent for the CV review. Kudos. So I want to invite you to take this special offer. I want to give you the advanced package where you get the CV, the cover letter, the LinkedIn profile guide, and interview coaching at the lowest cost. This time, no review, no, whichever you are, just send 2,999. If you're in Kenya, if you're international, I'm going to send you a link where you can pay using a card or Visa, credit card, debit card. This is your opportunity. You want the advanced one. Deborah, thank you. Slipper and Pesa, the tail number is that. Is that okay? Let me try moving quickly. And for those people who already we have done the CV for them, I want to invite you for coaching. We have the program called Career Jumpstart Coaching Program. And this is what is going to now take you to the next level in terms of your career. Yeah. What are we going to cover in this coaching? Number one, I'm going to help you get clarity on your career goal. Would you say you're really clear in terms of what you want for your career? Yes, you might be having a good CV, which is selling you, but are you able to really say, this is where I want to go to? Will identify, be clear in terms of your career goal, will help you identify and overcome obstacles that are holding you back. Probably there are some things that are holding you back. You know them. Some you don't know. But because you have been here long enough, we know what holds people back and will help you overcome them. We'll give you the strategies to network and build professional networks and professional relationships. Especially high-paying jobs, they are gotten through networking, and we can show you how do you go about that networking. And we'll help you increase your awareness, self-awareness on your strengths. Because we believe when you start working in your field of genius, in your strength, chances of you succeeding is very high. Then we will have a one-on-one conversation that will help you to, we help you to be accountable. What you said you will do, this is your plan. How are you doing it? We support you and we keep you motivated and to be on track. Would you want that? If you have already done a CV and you want to go to the next level, which is coaching, I want to give you a special offer again. So here you get a special offer for only $4,999. Now you get the advanced package, the CV, the cover letter, LinkedIn, profile guide, and the interview coaching. And if you had paid earlier, like the advanced package, probably you paid 2,000, you paid 3,000, you paid 4,000, you just need to pay the difference. And you get this special package. I'm here to help you and support you. And I want you to take action. Yeah? Do you include months in your CV? You can include the months or not. It depends on if maybe in a certain year you are in different places. But if it's just changing from one year to another, you don't necessarily need to put it. But we can always advise you. Yeah? Is that okay? I will come to the questions now. I want to go to the questions very quickly because I don't want. Oh, this is an email from Naomi. She did coaching with us and she said, I'm so glad about our paths crossing. This was truly a fortunate event that I needed to secure a job, a long awaited position. Your coaching was practical and personal. You worked with me through the entire process of interviews, and I'm glad that I keenly listened to you because I am now reporting to a global role as of March 1st. That is last year. Thank you, Daniel, and I hope you will be able, you will enable many more professionals to realize their goals that may be seemingly insurmountable. Asante sana and be abundantly blessed. That is what coaching does. It takes you to the next level. There are two types of people. People who hear some information like this, they take action, and those who hear and just sit down with it. I don't know, which type are you? You decide. Do you want to take action? Take action right now. You can either go for the CV writing at $2,999, or you can just pay right now for the coaching and get all the services. If there's a difference you had paid, just pay that and say, yes, I've paid in the chat. Warren Buffett said, the best investment you can ever have is to invest in yourself, because this is where you will get the highest return on investment. Yeah? Actually, the point is, for every shilling, for every dollar you invest in yourself, it will return 30 shillings or $30. That is a 3,000% return on investment. Where else will you invest? Real estate, stocks, and get 3,000% ROI? Only when you invest in yourself. And I want you to invest in yourself right now. I think, oh, and again, if you want to join our WhatsApp group, yeah, I think this is important. Let this conversation continue. Go to careerpoint.co.ke/WhatsApp. Write it somewhere. Go to the browser of your phone, the browser, careerpoint.co.ke/WhatsApp. Or if you're on Telegram, that is careerpoint.co.ke/Telegram. Next week, Thursday, a time like this, we will be talking about how do you get paid more? Once you have that job, once you have secured at least a job, or if you're currently working, how do you get paid more? Yeah, we'll be talking all about the money. That is 1st of February. That will be our topic. Q&A session. If you pay, Benta, I'm paying the variant right now. Thank you very much. Yes, I know you had paid for the CV when we started. Now you want to go to the next level. Pay the difference. And Benta, you're among the people who paid live. Was it 4th or 5th of January? Thank you for being there. Let me go to the questions. Hello, Daniel. I have subscribed for the special review. Thank you very much. I really appreciate people who are taking action are like you. And I'm going to commend you. By the way, if you're there and you take action, action is the only thing that will stop you from what you have been doing and moving to the next level. Can I answer the questions? So the question here is, can you please explain more on how to outline work experience in a professional way that will sell your CV? When you talk about your work experience, I would say have the time between this year to this year. I was in this company. This was my job title. I was an administrative assistant. Then most people will talk about these were my responsibilities, which is good, but I don't want you to start with your responsibilities. I want you to start with your achievement. What was your achievement between that period when you're in that job? Because achievements are unique to you. These are things that you have done that have helped the company save time, save money, make a process more efficient, or serve clients much better. Think about it. I've done a video and an article on how you can be able to write achievement. I think the last presentation I did on the 10 mistakes, actually part of the presentation, I showed you how you can write the achievement using two formula. What, so what? Yeah, whereby when you say deployed a new strategy, that is the what, so what, which increased the sales to by 300% from the example that we had earlier. Yeah, there's the what, so what. Or you can use another formula, which is skill, what you specifically did, and the result that it came. So you can talk about from using my digital marketing skills, that is the skill that you had. I ran a campaign, that is the specific action you did, which gave us a 3,000 or 300 or 70% more lead conversion. So the skill, what you did, and the result. Go on YouTube, go to Daniel Mutuku channel. Then there is, see this video here called Mistake Number 1, the 10 job application mistakes that employers won't tell you about. One of the mistakes is when I say you focus more on the responsibility rather than the achievement. And in that section, in that presentation, I actually went ahead and showed those formulas that I'm talking about with example from the presentation. So this would be a great video for you to go and watch. Another question here, this employment gap, do you write on the CV or when being interviewed? It depends. If it is a glaring gap, please address it head on your CV. If it is not very big, within a certain period, certain months or 2, 3, or even within 1 year, let's say up to 12 months, you don't necessarily need to indicate it. But if it is more than a year, there's a way you can indicate it. But it's again dependent on the situation. So I can help you. Send me the CV for review, and then we can find out in your case, is it worth highlighting it on the CV, or do you wait and explain it in the interview? So here's another question that came in a bit earlier. If you schooled in 3 high school or primary, to an extent you repeated a class, will you have to state all that in your CV? Kindly assist. No, you don't need to do that. Don't do that. By the way, I struggle with people sometimes when they tell me, I want you to include my primary education in my CV. I want you to include my high school. Someone has done master's, someone has done a diploma, master's, degree, all those certain certifications. There's so many, and they still want us to include their high school. No, sometimes you don't need to include all of them. You just write the year where you finished, and I got my KCSE certificate. Primary, we don't include actually nowadays. Why again do you shoot yourself in the foot when you say, I repeated? I will direct you back to that video of the 10 mistakes. And actually one of the mistakes is when you share some information that is going to harm you in the application. And I gave examples of people who say, oh, you know, from a single parent, I'm a single mother, I have this. Those are, you're giving us your problems. You're already giving me a different picture of you when you said you repeated a certain class. What does that? Of course, your primary school has no reflection in terms of your capability of working right now. But it is what you go. Don't do that. Don't communicate that. Is that okay? It doesn't add value. Oh, there was a question here. Been insurance sales for 5 years up to June 2023. most recently, and 20 years in admin. Now in need of admin job. How do I emphasize admin instead of sales? I no longer have interest in sales. When you're writing the CV, you are the one who is in control of giving that story, of narrating your story. Remember, we said you will be judged based on your CV, and you have the power to control how they judge you. So, what do you really want to sell? Talk about your admin experience, your value in admin, and what you can do there. Then just understate as an additional thing that you can also do or you did was sales. But focus on what you're selling. We can help you sell that much better. I've subscribed for the review. Thank you, Alexander, for paying. Also, Benta, you've said you paid the difference. Sure, you're adding value. Thank you very much. Is the coaching online or in person? Most of the time we do it online, but it's two versions. Let me explain. Yeah, there is virtual, whereby we will create an account on our learning platform, our coaching platform, where you get access to the coaching material, some videos, you get to interact, you do some worksheet. Then once you finish, it's like a 5-day activity or a week. Then we'll have a one-on-one. Most of the time we do it online, after work, in the evening or Saturdays. If you want one-on-one physical, it's up to you, but it's more economical and efficient when you do it online. Oh, Lincoln, you have said you have paid. Thank you very much. You're part of the people who take action. I like this. I worked in the same company for 4 years and in more than 5 departments. How do I highlight in your CV? What do you really want to sell? When you worked in these different departments, which one do you want to continue in? Now, these are now when we do a one-on-one conversation, because I can tell you career paths are very different for different people. You might have 10 years of experience, 10 of you, but how we have that conversation is different. Take advantage of this, James Okumu. I will guide you and advise you when we do a one-on-one. Is that okay? Is there any value in adding your photo in your CV? Oh, good question, Catherine. No. Actually, most of our CVs, we don't put a photo on the CVs. Unless two conditions. It has been asked for. Please include your photo. If it has been asked for, you can attach it or you can put it in your CV. Number two, unless the kind of job you're doing has to do with your physical appearance. Probably it is in the beauty area. It is about you being a model. And so your visual or physical appearance plays a part in terms of them judging you the right way or making a decision, we want this kind of person. But most of the time, your appearance has nothing to do with your accounting job, with your engineering job, with your IT job, with your teaching job, with your which other job is there. Most of the jobs, your visual or physical does not add any value. Sawa. Join our WhatsApp group. That is where the conversation, most of this conversation goes on, and you will get notified when we are having this live. I think Thursday, just keep it in your diary. Every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Or join us our Telegram group. That is careerpoint.co.ke/Telegram. That is my email, daniel@careerpoint.co.ke. And the till number is that 715732. I really appreciate you joining me.